So we can take a comfortable seated position with a straight spine, any position that you want. I'm just sitting the way that it's comfortable for me, but you can take simple cross leg, you can take um, half lotus or whatever that you just find yourself sitting comfortable with a straight spine. We have today the sacral chakra. I thought let's do a little bit of chakra. So it's not the Kundalini yoga that, the chakra yoga. It's gonna be still the same yoga, just to get to know you how the different type of movements are affecting in a different way the body and engaging different energy. So the sacral chakra is the second one, and it's located around 4 fingers under the navel. It's very close to the root chakra. So we had on Sunday the root chakra. When you miss one chakra class, it's not a big deal. Anyway, we're gonna do it again. It's not really okay. I have to do everything. So on Sunday we had the root chakra, which is situated in the tailbone, and then they say that only 2 centimeters above is the sacral chakra. It's not a physical thing, it's not a material thing, so it's not even scientifically proved. But according to the yoga philosophy, it exists. And the interesting thing is that the chakras, which is a teaching originated a few thousand years ago, are at the same places where we have some major nerve plexus, and the sacral chakra is at the same place where this sacral plexus is. So those are nerves, a few nerves in our body. So this is the truth behind. I suggest that we start a little bit of breathing, and then I will keep on talking. So with inhalation, we're going to push the chest forward and look up. And with exhalation, we're going to round the spine. So I will keep on talking, but because it's not a lecture, breathe in with your own tempo. Anyway, you don't listen to me, just breathe and flow. And I will keep on talking. So the chest comes forward, inhalation, looking up, arching the spine. With exhalation, rounding. So this sacral chakra, Svadhisthana, called in Sanskrit, is not only connected with sexuality and reproductive organs, intimacy, but also with creativity and sensuality, expressions, and fluidity. The element of that chakra is water, so it's about go with the flow, and any attachment or obsessions will result into imbalance. So you should not think about, okay, yeah, maybe I have this and that blockage and here and there. Almost everyone has almost everything. In some situations, we have emotions that are creating this imbalance. So just keep on breathing, because when we connect with the breath, we are balancing this sacral chakra. It's about fluidity, flowing, connecting with the breath. And this is what we're going to focus today, connecting the movement with the breath. Inhaling and exhaling. With your next inhalation, just fold forward to your own degree as much as it's comfortable for you. If you're flexible, you'll go maybe all the way down. Then begin to draw circles with your spine to the right, back, left, drawing big, beautiful circles with your chest. So we'll be doing a little bit of fluid movements and some gentle flowing sequences so that we create this energy. The first chakra, the root chakra that we did on Sunday, is about being stable, being grounded, holding the posture, being strong, and creating this feeling for security, for safety. And then the next one, the next level, it's about fluidity and flowing. So to not attach yourself to a certain thought, to a certain habit, to a material thing. And it's also connected with detachment from feelings as pride and ego. When you finish your circle, slowly change the side and think about the breath. So we are connecting the movement with the breath. Half of the way is inhaling and half of the way is exhaling. So no need to look at me, just keep on breathing and find your own breath. Connecting the movement with your own breath. So when we sit for a long time, well, when we spend a lot of time in the same position, what happens then? That we have pain in the lower back. And then we want to do a little bit of flowing sequence to connect the movement with the breath, and this should, according to the yoga philosophy, this should move the energy a little bit up to the spine. So we're gonna connect the movement with the breath today. We're gonna flow a little bit, just gentle flowing sequence. It will be more like Hatha flow, so not this traditional Hatha, when every time we hold the posture till you have pain. Today it will be more about breath. When you finish your circle, slowly come back to the center. I hope you feel your spine already a little bit more flexible. We're gonna come into tabletop pose. And from here, we're gonna take the toes under. We're gonna do one more flowing sequence. Inhaling, exhaling, chest, chin on the mat. Chest is between the palms, Ashtanga Namaskar pose. Inhaling, feet are flat on the mat. Slide the upper body into Cobra. Exhale and push with your palms and come into Child's pose. Focus on your breath. With inhalation, tabletop pose. Tuck the toes under. Exhaling, and then you feel as you exhale that your body wants to go all the way down. Inhaling and allow the breath to lift your chest up, coming into Cobra. Exhaling, and then you notice how you can fold forward into Child's pose. And think about the breath only. Inhaling, coming to a tabletop pose. Exhaling, naturally go all the way down. Inhaling, chest is lifted naturally when you fill the lungs with air. Exhaling, child's pose. With your own breath, focus on the breath and keep on flowing. Don't think about the movements that much. Even if you change the movements a little bit, even if you do something else, it's also completely fine. Just find your own breath. Transition from Cobra to a child's pose. Very good. Strengthening the elbows, strengthening the lower back. Breathing, focus on the breath. Slow, deep breath with control. Doesn't really matter how that much. It just, we want to breathe deep and slow. with control. One more last round with your own tempo, and then just push yourself and come into child's pose. And you can open your knees a little bit wide like child's pose. And gentle hip opener. This is also engaging this sacral energy. So the energy in that chakra is more female, which means that the women have it a bit more active in general. This doesn't mean that men don't have female energy. The same way the women have male energy. It's about balancing both. Breathe in here for a few moments. And you can focus on your lower back and on your sacrum. And you can visualize orange. Orange is the color of this energetical center. From the child's pose, one more deep breath with your own tempo. Inhaling and exhaling, come into a tabletop pose. Bring your knees close, parallel. And we're gonna come into double facing dog. Tuck the toes under your feet. Lift your hips and come into double facing dog. Just for a few moments here, focus on drawing the belly gently in to lengthen the abdominals. Focus on pointing your tailbone to the base of your spine up. So we want to feel that rotation in the hip joint. Few moments here. Inhaling and exhaling, bending your knees. And now we're gonna step forward. On outer sides of our palms, we're gonna bring the right foot front behind the right palm and the left foot front behind the left palm. Toes are pointed out. We're gonna come into Malasana or yogic squat. Also a very good posture for lower back and for hip openers. The lower back is flat here, so we can release any tension. A gentle hip opener. Keep on lifting your chest up and pushing your palms together. Shoulders are down. Inhaling and exhaling, and slowly come to standing. Bring your feet together. Inhaling, raising your arms above the head. Exhaling, folding forward, following your flow. Step your right foot back into low lunge. With inhalation, raise your arms above the head. Focus on this slow, deep breath. Holding the breath for a moment. Exhaling, allow the palms to touch the mat following that exhalation. Downward facing dog, step your left foot back. Inhaling here, focus on this inhalation. With exhalation, allow the knees, chest, chin to come on the mat. With inhalation, allow your chest to rise up into cobra. With exhalation, slowly come into downward facing dog. Step the right foot between the palms. Low lunge. With one deep breath, raise your arms above the head, lift your chest. With exhalation, bring your palms on the mat. Holding the breath for a moment, step the left foot forward next to the right one. Inhaling and exhaling, holding your heels and folding deeper. Notice how deep you can go into your forward fold when you're exhaling. Holding the breath. With inhalation, raise your arms above the head. With exhalation, allow the palms to go down in front of your chest. Even if you have one more inhalation and exhalation, doesn't really matter, just make sure that one of them is conscious. With your next inhalation, raise your arms above the head. With exhalation, allow your body to fold forward and down. Step your left foot back, low lunge. With your next inhalation, raise your arms above the head, lifting your chest. Holding the breath for a moment. With exhalation, allow the palms to go down on the mat and step back into downward dog. Take one more inhalation here. With exhalation, drop the knees, chest and chin on the mat. Your next inhalation will lift your upper body into cobra. Exhaling and coming into downward facing dog. Left foot is gonna step forward between the palms. Low lunge. Finding your low lunge, don't think about the breath at the transition. But once you raise the arms above the head, you will feel how naturally your lungs are filling with air. And with exhalation, you will feel how naturally your palms go down to the mat. Step your right foot forward, holding to your heels. Inhaling and exhaling, folding forward all the way down. With your next inhalation, feel how naturally your body is rising all the way up, arms and reaching towards the ceiling. Exhaling, palms are coming in front of your chest. This was sun salutation C, or the classical sun salutation from Hatha Yoga, and this was one round. Let's do one more, focusing on your breath. With inhalation, raising your arms above the head, holding the breath for just one tiny little moment here. With exhalation, fold forward. Right foot will step back, finding your low lunge. With your next inhalation, raise your arms above the head. With exhalation, allow the palms to touch the mat and step back into downward facing dog. Take one more inhalation here. With exhalation, the knees, the chest, the chin will touch the mat. With the next inhalation, lift yourself into cobra. With exhalation, naturally you push yourself into down dog. Right foot gonna step forward between the palms. Here we have usually one more inhalation and exhalation when we do that transition, but you should not think about this. With inhalation, raise your arms above the head. Then you feel how naturally your lungs are lifted. Exhaling, palms down, step forward. Hold into your heels. Take a conscious inhalation here. Exhalation, go deeper. Slow, deep breath, holding the breath for a moment, don't rush. With inhalation, slowly coming up to standing, pushing your hips a little bit forward, gentle back bend. Exhale, palms together. You can also feel free to do it with your own breath if this is too slow or too fast. We do now the left side. Inhaling, raising the arms above the head, deep breath, holding the breath after you inhale. Exhaling and folding forward. It happens naturally. Focus on this fluidity. Left foot gonna step back, inhaling and exhaling, finding your transition. With the next inhalation, raising the arms above the head. Exhaling, palms down. Right foot back, down dog. Inhaling, filling the lungs with air. Exhaling, Ashtanga Namaskar, knees, chest, chin down, holding the breath for a moment. With inhalation, slide yourself into Cobra. With exhalation, down dog. Left foot steps forward, finding your low lunge. And your next inhalation is gonna be raising the arms above the head. Exhaling, palms down. Right foot step forward, holding your heels. Inhaling and exhaling, falling forward. Inhaling, raising your arms above the head. Exhaling, palms together in front of your chest. Few more moments here in Tadasana posture. Observing the breath, equalizing the breath. And if you want, you can bring your arms on the side and do one breathing exercise. Inhaling, drawing a big circle over the head, bringing the palms together. Exhaling, pulling the palms down till your heart center. Holding the breath for a moment, allow this to happen naturally. With inhalation, spread your arms and draw a big, beautiful circle. Palms are touching, holding for a moment. Exhaling, palms go down. Holding for a moment. With inhalation, drawing big, beautiful circle. Holding for a moment, exhaling, palms down. Keep on doing this with your own breath. No rules, just make sure that you're connecting the movement with the breath. No need to look at me, found your own breath. No rules, you cannot do that wrong. We are just breathing and making it easier when we are moving our arms. Just for a few more conscious inhalation and exhalation here. Developing fluidity, being light, not attached to anything. We're gonna boost our creativity. Svadhisthana from Sanskrit means self-dwelling. So it's kind of like, they say, the home of the soul. So this is where the soul is having a residence. I don't know if that's true, but as an energetical center in the yoga philosophy has a very big importance. Even though it's one of the low chakra, sometimes people can connect it with low emotions. But this is also expression of love, sensuality, connection. Take one more inhalation and exhalation. No rush, found your own breath. You have the whole time of the world. Don't look at me, just breathe and breathe out with your own breath, with your own body. After exhalation, find your Tadasana, find your mountain pose. We have one more round of this Hatha Yoga salutation, but a bit more difficult. Inhaling, raising your arms above the head. Don't stress yourself if this doesn't happen naturally with your breath. Folding forward and exhaling. Right foot gonna step back. This time we're gonna keep the high lunge, so the right knee is up. Inhaling, raising the arms above the head. Exhaling, palms on the mat. Step your left foot back into down dog. Take a deep breath in here, deep breath out. Ashtanga Namaskar pose, knees, chest, chin down. Inhaling into Cobra. Exhaling, down dog. No stress if there is one more extra inhalation or exhalation, or if you lose at all the control. Right foot step front. We're gonna keep this high lunge here. Inhaling, raising the arms above the head. Finding your high lunge. With exhalation, bring your palms down and step your left foot front. Holding your heels or holding your shin anywhere you reach. Take inhalation, and with exhalation, focus on folding forward. But without stressing yourself with this breath. If it's too much, just move and flow the way it feels natural. With inhalation, raise your arms above the head, come into standing position, pushing your hips forward, gentle back bend, looking towards your palms. Exhaling, palms in front of the chest. We do the left side now. Inhaling, raising your arms above the head. Exhaling, folding forward. Left foot, step back. We have the high lunge now. With inhalation, raise your arms above the head. Beautiful. Exhaling, palms on the mat. Step your right foot back into down dog. Feel free to find your own tempo if you want. Inhaling here and exhaling. Knees, chest, chin on the mat. With inhalation, raise up in Cobra. With exhalation, downward facing dog. Left foot step front. Find your high lunge with me or with your own breath whenever you're ready. Raising your arms above the head, inhaling and exhaling. Arms on the mat. Step the right foot front. Holding your heels, take a deep breath in. Inhaling and exhaling, folding forward deeply. Raising your arms above the head. Exhaling. Palms together. We're gonna step our feet. Right leg open. Prasarita stance. And we're gonna find first our goddess pose. We're gonna point the toes out. Find this neutral pelvis. Make sure that there is no tilt here. You want to keep the pelvis neutral and you feel a little bit of stretch already. Toes are pointing slightly out. And the thighs will follow exactly that. The thighs will follow exactly that movement, that direction where the toes are. To make sure they have the same direction, your feet and your thighs. And go down into our goddess pose. We don't want to lean forward here. We don't want to arch the lower back. We also don't want to round it. Find your own stable posture, your own degree. With a straight spine, someone is pulling that crown up. And when you notice your knees are splaying in, this means either you want to actively open your legs and keep them open, or you want to bring your feet a little bit closer and to come a little bit up. This posture can look different for everyone. Find in your own degree. Just few more breaths here. This good for the first and for the second chakra, so for the base energy in general. We have stable foundation, and this energy can go to the higher levels. Inhaling and exhaling here. Now we're gonna come into side lunge with a lot of attention. So we're gonna point the right foot a little bit forward or 45 degrees, find your own degree. Keep your hips back, keep your knee back. We're gonna come into side lunge. The belly is active, core is active. If this is creating pain, you should avoid that posture. If this is okay, we're gonna bring the palms together in front of the chest and we're gonna come into our side lunge. Here I want to make sure that the knee is back, so we are not bringing the weight of the body on the kneecap. Maybe you will be on your heel or on your toes, both is good. The other foot can point up or can be flat on the mat. So here you choose your own modification. One deep breath here. Inhaling and exhaling, bring your palms in front of you. And you're gonna square the hips forward to a low lunge. One deep breath here, low lunge. Inhaling and exhaling, we're gonna tuck the left toes under, lifting the left knee for a pyramid pose, extending the right foot, the right leg, right leg. Find your pyramid pose. The hips are still square, facing forward. You can bring the left heel on the mat, or you can keep it up. Find your own modification. Pyramid pose here, inhaling and exhaling for one breath. Then we're gonna come into Trikonasana pose, triangle. Left arm is reaching. Hips are open now to the right side of your mat. You can bring the right palm somewhere up on your shin. Opening the hips nicely. So in the previous position we were squaring the hips forward. Now you open them to the side. And when the hips are changing the position, the spine is just following that movement in the chest. Inhaling and exhaling. Slowly come to standing. One more time, we're gonna do this, go this pose. Toes are pointing out. If you like, bring your palms on your hips, finding your feet, finding your thighs, and go down. Just for one deep breath here, finding your goddess pose. Inhaling and exhaling, we're gonna do the side lunge to the other side. So you're gonna find your left foot. This really depends what kind of goddess are you taking, because if your hips are open, then your feet are pointing to the front and to the back side of the mat. So we want to find the arm degree for this side lunge. According to your angles, make sure that you're not leaning forward with your knee, rather keep it back. Keep your hips even. Parallel with the mat, belly is in. And then just push those hips to the left. Bring your palms in front of your chest. Either stay here or go all the way down, making sure you're not leaning forward. Find your strong lunge. One deep breath here. Are the knees okay? Everyone good? No? Yes? Okay. Side lunge. Inhaling and exhaling, then bring your palms on the mat. Just walk the palms, squaring your hips. Now this is to the back side of your mat, so you're not gonna see me, but we're gonna do the same thing here, so you know what comes. Inhaling and exhaling, pyramid pose. Both legs straight, hips are square to the back side of your mat. Pyramid pose. Inhaling and exhaling. We're gonna open the hips to the right side of your mat. Triangle pose. Right arm is reaching. Beautiful triangle, very good. Inhaling and exhaling, come into standing gorgeous pose one more time. This was moon salutation. We're gonna do one more round. We're gonna follow the breath. Inhaling and exhaling, side lunge. Inhaling and exhaling, low lunge. Or you can keep the high lunge with the knee up. Inhaling and exhaling, pyramid pose. One deep breath here. Triangle pose, left arm is reaching. Inhaling, exhaling. With the next inhalation, every time when we inhale, it's easier to lift the body. With inhalation, the air in the lungs is lifting the body. Go this pose. One deep breath here. Belly is in, chest is lifted. Inhaling, exhaling, side lunge to the other direction. If you are doing the right, then you're gonna go to the left. Or just the opposite of what you have done before. Inhaling and exhaling, palms on the mat, walking the fingers to the back side of your mat. Low lunge or keep the knee up. One deep breath here. Inhaling and exhaling. Pyramid pose. One deep breath or few small. Inhaling and exhaling. Triangle pose. Open the hips. Right arm is reaching up. Finding your strong core. Inhaling and exhaling. Coming to standing. Releasing the arms. Releasing the feet. One more time. You're gonna do goddess pose. Yogic squat. Bring the palms together in front of your chest. The heels are a little bit more open than the hips. It's a little bit more. Toes are pointing out. The thighs are gonna follow our toes. Inhaling and exhaling. Coming all the way down to your yogic squat. Chest is lifted. The feet are grounding, so hold the mat with your feet. This is gonna engage the first chakra, so the grounding, the stability, so that we can move the energy to the second one, the sacral chakra, the fluidity and the creativity. Inhaling around the spine and reach forward with your arms. Exhaling. Push your elbows back, push your knees. Inhaling, leaning forward, rounding the spine, stretching, someone is pulling you. Exhaling, coming back into the yogic squat. Find your own breath here, for your own body and for your own lungs. Inhaling, reaching forward and exhaling. Maybe you need to slow it down, or maybe you want to speed it up. So basically there is no rules. It just depends what you want today. On different days, maybe you can do it in a different way, because the body and the mind have different needs. So maybe today you want to do it slow, maybe tomorrow you want to do it super fast, energizing the body. No rules. This is a difficult posture, especially when you have to hold it. Focus on breathing and breathing out, opening the hips. Very good. One more inhalation and exhalation with your own breath. And coming into yogic squat. Finding your yogic squat after you exhale and stay here in the squatting position. Now for the next, you're going to have a little bit more power for the next exercise. Keep the yogic squat, keep on lifting the chest, engage. Push the mat with your feet for one more moment, finding here the grounding properties. Then we're going to bring the palms on the mat in front of us, shoulder width apart. The fingers are spread, super nice, strong fingers. And we want to keep the middle fingers parallel. If your shoulders are tight, maybe you want to keep the index finger parallel. We're gonna play here a little bit with the balance and with the palms. So we're gonna push the mat with our palms and lifting the heels. We bring part of the weight of the body on our palms. Just playing here with the balance. You can stay here, or if you want, you can also bring the feet together, the heels together. The toes are spread, so we are still opening the hips. This is also an interesting position when the heels are together, the toes are apart, the hips are open. And you can here find your shin bones on your upper arms and lean a little bit forward. Try to keep your elbows parallel. And if you want, you can lift one foot up. Here, breathing and balancing, bending the elbows, playing with the balance, playing with the strength. And then drop that foot down and switch, bring the other foot up. So we have both palms on the mat and one foot, or actually the toes of one foot. Just for a few moments here and switch. If you like, you can switch one more time and do only one foot. If you want, you can play a little bit, but you want to really bring those shin, if it's possible, even on your armpit. So here you're gonna need a little bit of flexibility. Leaning forward, lifting one foot, and maybe if you find your balance, if you find your strength, you can lift also the other foot. Both heels are touching, and we are balancing on our palms. That's a difficult posture, so if you cannot find the balance here, no worries, it's gonna take some time. The easiest way is when the heels are touching, the knees are apart, and we're gonna bring the inner thigh and the shin on our arms. Then we're gonna lean a little bit forward. We want to play with the balance. This is also balancing posture, arm balance. Choose a gazing point in front of you and look at it. If it doesn't happen, you can come out of the posture and try again. I will try to show it also from the side. So heels are touching, legs are open, elbows are parallel, palms are nice, planting. Lift one foot, choose a gazing point. You're looking at only one point on the mat. Heels are touching. Breathe in for one more moment. If you like, you can try again. Very, very good. I'm impressed. This is amazing work for the concentration. You forget about everything. Very good. Engage in the core. Strong core, strong lower back. Inhaling and exhaling. One more last try. Then coming back into the yogic squat if it was too much for your palms. Then you can do a counter pose, bringing the back side of the palm on the mat. Stretching here for a moment. Inhaling and exhaling. Walking the palms, coming into child's pose for a moment. If you like, open your knees on both edges of the mat and rest your chest in between. If there is still some tension on your palms, if you're not used to have so much weight of the body on your palms, you can do a counter pose and bring the back of the palms on the mat. Or just rest your arms on the side of your legs. You can also do a little bit of circles with your wrists if there is still some tension in your arms. Finding your counter pose if your wrists need more stretch. One more last breath, focus on it. Deep inhalation, deep exhalation. Push with your palms underneath the shoulders and come into tabletop pose. And from this tabletop pose, maybe you want to switch your position on the mat, because the next we're going to do is the frog pose. So we want to keep the knees on the mat. And here we have the palms under the shoulders, and then we're just gonna slide the knees. Now my mat is not slippery, so I have to rather lift them and push them a little bit away to find my position. If your mat is slippery, it's easier. Maybe you want to have some support, so you want to have the mat underneath your knees. If I'm doing it like this, then I don't know, for me it's okay, but maybe your knees will be hurting you, or when we stay a bit longer, then for sure it's gonna hurt you. And then you can lower down your elbows. Underneath your shoulders, we have this frog pose, which is an amazing hip opener, and it's also stimulating the basic energy. So the first and the second chakra, opening the hips. Make sure that your lower back here is protected. So if you notice you arching the lower back, and you think, yeah, I'm almost on the mat, yeah, I'm there, then it's not that healthy for your lower back. We have that natural curve, and we want to sometimes do a counter pose to draw the belly in, tuck the tailbone in, keep the lower back nice and flat, even a little bit rounded. And we want to have here both thighs in one line. So maybe you notice you're a little bit forward with your hips or a little bit back. It's okay if it's not exactly a straight line. This is not geometry, so just find your own degree, but ideally both thighs should be in one line. And then we also want to keep the shin bones parallel. The toes are pointing out, so maybe if your feet are closed, maybe you want to find your parallel shin bones, not too wide, but also not too close. It's just modifications. Everything is modification, but basically you cannot do it wrong as long as you feel stretch, a good pain. If it's a bad pain, then you're pushing too hard. We only want to find our own degree, a healthy way to stretch and to release, not just to stretch the muscles and the tissues itself, but also to release something from our inner world, maybe some emotions, but also not too much. This is also how the body is protecting us. If we release too much at the same time, maybe we get crazy and maybe we don't know what is happening. If it's something overwhelming, well, This is also the body is protecting the joints, the muscles, but also I think it's also protecting our mental state. So everything happens with the time, and we want patience. And when the moment is right, then we can go so deeper in the posture, and then you notice you can go a little bit deeper, and it's just happening naturally. If it was pain yesterday, then today is even nice. At some moment, it's gonna be even enjoyable, this posture. And the hips is the area where we store a lot. The hips and the shoulders, this is where we store a lot of trash. Everything that is not proceeded in the right moment goes somewhere, especially in the joints, and the hips and the shoulders, they get a lot. You want to breathe into the hip joints. Don't try to push too hard, just allow it to happen naturally. If it's painful, you can close your knees a little bit, go a little bit up. Also, maybe not now, but if you want to practice at home, if you have a yoga block, you can bring it under your pelvic bone. I will just take it to show you. So if the frog pose is too much, you can come back into the child's pose. Or when you want to practice a little bit more, then you can bring the block uh, underneath your pubic bone, or a cushion or books. Then it's gonna be easier to stretch. And slowly you're gonna close the knees, push with the palms and close the knees. Whenever it was too much, you can slowly bring the knees together and coming into Vajrasana. Sitting on your heels for a moment, allowing the hips to recover. Few moments here of mindfulness, not a real meditation, but you can just close your eyes for a moment. We are not done with our practice. We just stop on the way, a small break, small pause, just to observe what was happening so far with the body. Because it was a bit unusual practice than what we are doing before, with all of these chakras and energy and all of these spiritual things. So it's still a physical practice, but just for common culture, we get to know a little bit of different type of energy and how with the same postures we generate energy in a different way. So when it's a practice for grounding and we do the same postures, and then we are centering the mind, and when it's this fluidity practice, then we move a little bit faster, we move with the breath, which is maybe a little bit of different state of mind. So every time when you're lacking of maybe this feeling to be grounded, when you're lacking of concentration in general, when you cannot bring your mind to do something, then maybe if you want, you can do a little bit of warrior postures, or hold the goddess posture for a long time. Just hold and engage with thighs and feet, engage in the feet and the pelvic floor. And when you notice that you are kind of stuck and you were sitting all day in front of the computer and you cannot think straight anymore and you cannot do anything, then maybe you want to do a little bit of sun salutations or a little bit of moon salutation. So what we have done after the sun salutation, this side lunge and pyramid and triangle, this were the moon salutation. So the sun salutation is balancing the right side of the body, if we can put it like this. So the the masculine energy, the active, the sun, and then the left side is the moon, which is the female, and we want to bring this balance. Scan your body, notice your breath. Inhaling and exhaling with your own breath. Make this with awareness. And then just bring your hips on the side of your heels. And extend your legs in front of you. And we're gonna open our legs for Upavishta Konasana. Find your own degree. No need to push all the way if it's creating any pain in your knees. Just a little bit, even if it's just small. Just so that we want to have the spine straight and long. Maybe you want to bend your knees a little bit. Find your own posture. Anytime it gets too much, you can take a break in child's pose or drink some water or just do a posture that you want to do. So no rules. You can just do anything that your body needs. And from here, we want to do first Kali Mudra is called. Fingers are interlocked, index finger are together. If this is already too much spirituality with all of these things and all of this mudra, just clasp your hands somehow the way it's comfortable for you. You're gonna do a little bit of circles, flowing, leaning forward, inhaling. Clockwise, begin to draw a circle, inhaling halfway, going back, rounding the spine. Exhaling, reach into the opposite foot and coming forward, holding the breath. Inhaling clockwise, drawing a circle. Half of the way is the inhalation, holding for a moment. Exhaling, half circle. Finishing the circle, holding the breath for a moment. Halfway, inhaling, half circle till we go back. Rounding gently the spine. Exhaling, finishing the circle. Holding for a moment. Inhaling, half circle. Holding the breath for a moment. Exhaling, finishing the circle. If you want, you can do it with your own breath or with me. Sometimes the body needs guidance. Sometimes you want to let someone tell you what to do and to not think about it. And sometimes you want to find the connection with your own breath and with your own body. Inhaling halfway up, leaning back. Don't think about the feet this time. Usually we keep them active. This time we are only focused on the breath. Halfway up, inhaling. Halfway forward, exhaling. With me or with your own breath, we're gonna finish one more big, beautiful circle. Inhaling halfway. Exhaling. We're gonna switch to side. Inhaling anti-clockwise, half circle. Leaning back, engaging the core. Exhaling, finishing the circle, reaching to the opposite foot and forward, holding for a moment. Inhaling, holding the breath for a moment. Exhaling, finishing the circle. Inhaling, half circle, engaging the core, belly is in. Exhaling, finishing the circle, reach in front. Inhaling with me or with your own breath. So no rules. Deep breath in, holding the breath. Deep breath out, finishing the circle. Focus on your breath. This is a breathing exercise that is burning the shoulders and the thighs and everything. One more circle with your own tempo or with me. Inhaling and exhaling. And coming back to sitting. Notice if there is any difference now in your legs. If you want, only if it's accessible and comfortable, you can open them 1 millimeter more, few millimeters. This time we're gonna do this active. Toes are pointing up. And just for a few moments, I promise we're not gonna hold it that long. You're gonna walk the palms forward. Maybe you want to bring your elbows on the mat. We are folding from the hip joint, and we want to protect the lower back, and maybe you can focus here on your sacrum. So this is the bone below the lower back. So it is big as 5 vertebrae, but it's like they're grown together. So according to the evolution, this was where we had our tail from the sacrum, and then from the tailbone. But it's now just one bone, and maybe there is our sacral chakra. If the chakras exist at all, maybe this is just a story. But if you like, you can bring your awareness there to the sacrum or a little bit above to your lower back, and you can visualize this orange color. It's kind of like the studio here. It's the elephant Ganesha. It's more like yellow, but I think that on the camera looks kind of like orange. One more last breath, finding your own degree here. Inhaling and exhaling. Okay, I promise you not too much. I'm gonna slowly come back. Slowly, we're gonna close the legs with control, with awareness, going out of the posture one by one leg, helping with the arms. If it was too much, you can drop the knees to the side. You can drop the knees to the other side. If it was too much, do anything that you like. We were stretching to intensive those hamstrings and the knee ligaments. And now we're gonna bring the feet together for bound angle pose, Baddha Konasana. You can also do the reclined version. So if you want, you can go forward, stay a few moments here, or if you want, you can directly walk your palms back, come into Supta Baddha Konasana or reclined bound angle. If you're folding forward, we're gonna walk the palms back, laying supine. You can rest your arms on the side. If you like, you can close the knees and bring the feet on both edges of the mat to allow this lower back to be flat on the mat. And you want to push it with your abdominals to make sure that the sacrum and the lower back is flat on the mat, resting. We were opening the legs, now we are closing them, covering the hips. Few moments here. Allowing your whole body to relax. You can scan your body from the toes up to the crown of the head. What is happening with your body? If your body is relaxed for a moment, if there was somewhere some energy moving, sometimes this mystical energy is just any nerve that is released. Take one more conscious breath here, inhaling You have the whole time of the world for this. Slow, deep inhale and exhaling. And stretch your arms over the head and moving your body a little bit, waking up the body. Whenever you're ready, rotate to your right side. If you like, keep the eyes closed. Pushing with the left palm, pushing with the right palm, coming into a comfortable seated position with a straight spine and closed eyes. Palms together in front of the chest, so rubbing. Feel those little needles on your palms and cover your eyes, cover your face. Open your eyes inside of your palms, look into them. Keep them a few centimeters away from the face. Spread the fingers and look between and behind them, away from you. And then bring your palms together in front of your chest and if you like. Namaste. Thank you for your practice. Oh, let's turn off the recording now.